Back in 2019, CIBC did a poll to see how Canadians were spending their tax refunds. 20% of Canadians were using their tax refund to pay off the debts. Another 20% said it would cover their everyday expenses. 12% said they would invest the money. And 22% said they didn't know what they would do with the money. As the filing deadline for your personal tax is nearing, you should have filed them by the end of April. And if you owe any tax money to the CRA, then you would like to pay the bill as soon as possible. But if you're expecting or have received a nice tax refund, then this video is for you. Because today, I'm going to talk about 8 smart ways to spend your tax refund. Hey, welcome back. This is Thomas, here to help Canadians to make better choices on retirement, wealth, and insurance. My goal is to make sure you can take 1 or 2 ideas home and start making better financial decisions today. If you find this video valuable, please consider subscribing so you will never miss any of my videos. Let's jump into it. First of all, did you know that 63% of people feel that a tax return is a bonus? However, it's actually your own money being returned back to you. So instead of treating your tax return like found money, it's smarter to spend it wisely instead of using it to splurge. The first way to spend your tax return is to pay off or down any debts, especially if there's a high interest. Paying down your debts not only lowers the amount that you have to pay, but it also lowers the amount of interest you end up paying. Credit card debt is a great place to start, as they have some of the highest interest rate at around 20%. Another debt you may consider paying is your mortgage. Though interest rates are currently really low, you may still want to make a lump sum payment on top of your regular mortgage payments. You'll need to check your mortgage contract because there's a cap on how much you can pay extra to your mortgage per year. While you might think contributing a small lump sum may not impact your mortgage, let me show you an example. If Tom's mortgage is $300,000 and he has an interest rate of 3%, an amortization period of 30 years, his monthly payment will be about $1,261 per month. Now, with over the 30-year amortization period, Tom will be making 360 monthly payments of that amount to pay towards the $300,000 principal. He will be paying around $154,000 in interest for a total of $454,000. Now, let's say Tom typically expects $1,000 return each year on his taxes, and instead of spending it, he uses it to pay a lump sum of his mortgage each year. And over the 30-year amortization period, Tom will only be making 325 monthly payments instead of the original 360 payments towards the principal. So now he would then be paying $137,000 in interest compared to the $154,000. That also means now his total amount that he pays becomes $437,000 instead of $454,000. So if you don't think $1,000 a year makes a difference to your mortgage, think again. The Government of Canada has a handy mortgage calculator tool on their website to calculate this, and it will also show you the difference you can make to your mortgage, whether you're contributing one time, each year, or with your regular payment schedule. The second way to spend your tax refund smartly is to invest it. There are so many ways you can how you want to invest, such as putting it into the tax-free saving, your RSP, or our ESP. And these investments can also help you plan for your long-term goals, like retiring early or towards a child's education. I will go through the options quickly, but I've already have some videos on each of these investment topics if you want to learn more about them. Putting it into a tax-free savings account is a great place if you think you might need to use the money in the near future. There's more flexibility in withdrawing it than some of the other investment options. But remember, there's a contribution limit to your tax-free saving. For 2021, the contribution limit is $6,000, and overall you will have around $75,500. Your contribution to a tax-free saving are not deductible for income tax purpose, and any amount contributed and any income earned on the amounts through the investment income or capital gain is tax-free. If one of your financial goals is to retire by a certain age, or you'd like to save more taxes, then you can consider putting your tax return into the RSP account, especially if your income is in a higher tax bracket, which results in a bigger tax return too. Another benefit of contributing to your RSP is that it helps you to grow your investment tax-free within the account until you take it out, similar to your tax-free saving. But if you're thinking that you'll be heavily taxed on it when you take it, then what's the point? So smart investors know that no matter what, you have to pay tax at some point. So it's neither now, later, or never. If tax never is out of the option, they prefer being taxed later instead of now. Time helps with compounding growth and allows you to prepare for the bills later. A few things to keep in mind that if you want to contribute to your RSP with your tax return, once it's in there, it's recommended not to take it out until your income has changed, such as retirement, going back to school, or going on a mat leave. It is an account for retirement savings after all. However, there are exceptions like when you buy your first place or using it towards to your education. And speaking of education, if your children or nieces or nephews or siblings who wants to help with their future education, consider a Registered Education Savings Plan, or RESP for short. RESP is the only investment account in Canada that guarantees a 20% return on your investment, because for every dollar that you put into the RESP, the government gives you 20% up to $500 per year and a maximum of $7,200 in a lifetime. If your entire family income is less than or equal to $47,000, and the government will give you additional $2,000 to the RESP. So if you have $2,500 in tax return every year, throw it into the RESP using pre-tax money to attract more free money without changing your cash flow. Side note, did you know that the average student debt is more than $28,000 today, and it takes most students 10 years to pay them off? So if you have money to start saving towards an RESP, then it's best to start as early as possible. And again, I covered tax-free saving, RRSP, and RESP in my previous videos, so be sure to check those videos out to learn more. The next way to spend your tax return is another form of investment, which is investing in yourself by learning a new skill. I'm a firm believer of continuous learning and know that there are both short-term and long-term benefits of investing in yourself through education. And if you are learning a new skill set through schools in Canada, you will also be able to obtain tuition credit tax benefits with further extra tax refunds in the end. Another way of investing in yourself is to launch a new business. Do you have a passion project you have been wanting to try? Many businesses are launched while people are working their regular 9 to 5. In 2019, there was a survey found that 1 in 3 working Canadians are managing their own side business, and more than a third of working Canadians were also actively working on or considering setting up a business. Starting a business from home is easier than ever. Your tax returns could go towards buying a domain, creating a website, selling products online, investing in some inventory, and more. The possibilities are endless, and maybe your side business could one day become your full-time job, and there are tax benefits for those businesses as well too. The fifth way to spend your tax refund is to put it towards to your emergency fund. Financial experts suggest that you should have at least 3 months' salary in your emergency fund. Did you know that in Canada, 2/3 of the Canadians do not have an emergency fund of at least 3 months' worth of expenses? And 2020 has taught us the importance of an emergency fund. Using the tax return is a smart idea to put back into the rainy day fund for the future. Another way to spend your tax refund is to make home improvements. While in the long run, these improvements can make an impact in increasing your property value. And in the short term, you might have home improvement that could be more energy efficient to save on bills. Some provinces also have home improvement tax credits too. Also, don't forget, if you own a property, you have to pay property tax to our government. And I'm pretty sure after the pandemic, the property tax will going to increase. So no matter how big or small your tax refunds are, you can still put it aside and contribute towards to your property. The seventh way to spend your tax return is to give it back to your community, like making a donation to a charity. This is a feel-good way to contribute back to your community with money that you might not have been expecting to get it back. In 2020, due to the pandemic, 68% of the Canadian charities saw a decline in donations. So as we hope to return to normal soon, try our best to donate more. Yes, it is a different perspective, but I believe saving money is only a journey. The end goal is what can you do with the money. Plus, there's also a huge tax benefit when you donate to eligible organizations. This is useful, especially when you have a huge capital gain coming up, like selling your second property or receive a huge bonus. Finally, the last way to use your tax return is to spend it on something that you like. While this way may not provide a good financial return, but if that makes you happy, then it's worth it. Once you're happy, you will have motivation to work more and result in a positive cycle. My suggestion is after you pay yourself first and know exactly what you can do with the money, then it's all well worth it. For example, I'm planning to use my tax refund money to buy a bicycle so I don't have to be stuck at home and gain weight. So how do you plan to spend your tax return? Hopefully, this video gives you some ideas to consider. Make sure you file your tax on time, and usually once you do that, you can typically expect the returns within 2 weeks. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. This is Thomas, and I will see you in the next video.